Hello everybody, welcome back to the official Hocus Poker TCG YouTube channel. Hocus Poker is a homemade trading card game that I made, blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, the game crafter sent me my print test of one of my starter decks. I opened the other one, Prize Fighter. This is the second one. This is Reckless Sleeper. And this deck is more of a control strategy. Prize Fighter, the other starter deck, is a very aggro, very aggressive, kind of quick-paced deck. Whereas this one is much more control oriented. This deck has a lot of ways to like deal with like if your opponent keeps playing a card that you have a problem with, or like if they have a familiar spirit that you have a problem with, this deck helps you deal with that. And if your opponent, it helps you just like really kind of just like shut down your opponent's strategies. Oh boy, but yeah, I've already opened this. I've already looked at some of the cards, so like. I will be talking about some of the changes and stuff I'll make, because like yeah, this really is just kind of like a print test because I really wanted to just see like how it turned out. Like I think I gotta make the logo bigger, and yeah, I kind of want to change this text a little bit because you can hardly well on camera it's hard to see, but it's not that bad. Anyway, let's see here. What's the back say? Force your opponent to yield to the pace of your slothful nature and unleash your wrath upon any who wish to defy you. Use this Hocus Poker starter deck to unleash a truly reckless sleep. Oh boy, I've already actually rewritten this back because I don't think it had all that much punch to it, but hopefully my change spice it up. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's see what we got in here. So each of these starter decks contain a rule book, as well as a 40 card deck, which you need a minimum of 40 cards to play Hocus Poker with. And I'm also going to add poker chips to the starter decks as well. So like that way, here, I'll just put this over here. That way, you know, it's like you don't, in case you don't have like coins or anything lying around. Hello, cat. What's up? This is my cat, Wispy. She is not a card. What was I talking about? Let's look at the cards in this deck. Let's look at the cards that you get with Reckless Sleeper. This deck is mostly focused on Wrathful and Slothful cards. Wrathfuls, they have a lot of effects that help you like get rid of cards, and Slothful cards have a lot of effects that let you like block effects and slow down your opponents. It's pretty. I don't know. I thought it'd be a nice way to introduce players. I've actually already done this. After like seeing these cards like in my hands, like this is supposed to be like a blood red color, but like it kind of just looks more brown. You know, it's like eh. So it's like I had to lighten up that red and make it a little bit more of a crimson color, and I can't wait to see what those look like when I finally get them. But anyway, let's see. We got the Bodiless Horseman. Love that. It's very silly. It's just a pumpkin riding a ghost horse. But anyway, it's like wrathful cards. They have a lot of effects that they help like punish your opponent, like for like playing well, or like you know, it's like wrathful cards are like supposed to be like very angry. You know, it's like they're very concerned with like revenge and wreaking havoc and stuff. So it only makes sense that wrathful cards kind of just like destroy cards, like muck them and stuff. And like what this guy does is if your opponent's summon is like has a force of 1500 or higher, then its force goes down to 0, in which case this card could beat it really easily. But it is kind of a gamble to play this card. It's like, but like some cards, like if your opponent's like betting, hello kitty, if your opponent's betting like 7 soul coins, you know, like that summon almost certainly has over 1500 force, so it's like just a way to beat over anything. Let's see, we got the Sour Puss. I actually have a cat on my desk right now, knocking things off, just like this. This is like the cat in the artwork here. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna actually. So yeah, so this card, like, if an opponent tries to play a card that you've already played in that game, you can activate this. It's just a free negate, and it gets rid of it. It's very cheap, much cheaper than the Wet Blanket or the Snoozing Alarm Clock. But it's a lot more situational, I think. I might actually change up that effect. Let's see, we got Anarch Butterflies. Love that card. The Procrastinator in their final hour. They have like a little Naruto headband, and instead of the Konoha symbol, it's the slothful symbol. Which I made a video discussing slothful design mechanics and philosophies. So go check that out. It's on my channel. But anyway, I didn't mean to make this Naruto. Just as I was coloring it, it just kind of happened. Like that, you get the Poorly Drawn Knight. This guy, if you win, like if he's your summon and you win the round, makes your opponents like they can't draw any cards. So it's like, yeah, you can stop them from like getting new cards to their hand. It's pretty good. Treasure Island Siren, you're absolutely gonna need this. This would be a staple in any deck that has a focus on familiar spirits, which both of the starter decks do have familiar spirit in each. They have multiple copies of the box card. That's the familiar spirit, and we'll get to him. The Argyle Gargoyle. This stops your opponent's graveyard effects or muck effects. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh. This is a different game. Let's see, you got the Mountain Man. He forces a draw. The School Spirit, she buffs cards. There was more of her in the other starter deck, but I figured like this is a pretty good staple card. I think it's good for starter deck because just boosting power. That's a very standard effect. I think that works. You got the Grizzled Detective. I wanted each of the starter decks to have at least one card from all of the sins. Yeah, I threw Grizzled Detective in here because he has an effect that possibly will negate, but it's not guaranteed. It's like if your opponent plays an effect or whatever, you can flip him and like it makes your opponent, they either have to pay double, like they have to pay the bet again, or it's negated. So it gives them a chance. So, but I figured that would work with a control deck. We got the Baby Zerker. Just if you lost the last round, get revenge. In this card, his power gets doubled. His force gets doubled. Ooh, we got the Daunting Haunting, one of my favorite artworks and concept for cards. It's a Sentient Curse. This guy, if you want this guy in your muck, because if he's in your muck and like you're in a tight spot, you can just bring him out for cheap from your muck. It's pretty good. I really like it. That's the Daunting Haunting. Snoozing Alarm Clock. If your opponent flips up a raise, you can just flip it right back down again. Another Horseman. Ooh, the Flash Angry Mob. This is a staple. This is probably going to be a staple because this card just mucks any card you want. And when you select the card, your opponent they can't raise it, because normally, like if you select a card, like your opponent, like if your opponent could raise that card that you selected in response, but this negates it, so it's like you can just muck it. This just gets rid of anything. If you have a familiar spirit that you need to get rid of, because it's giving your opponent too much advantage, just get rid of it with Flash Angry Mob. Yep. Very, very organized rabble. Oh man. How much did they practice to go, mess some stuff up to kill some monsters? I don't know. That's a very, very organized and flashy protest you got going on. Alright, we got the Ugly Duckling. Another Butterflies. The Changeling. Ooh. This card's got kind of a weird effect. You can just throw this on top of an opponent's like face down card, and your opponent, like if they want to play the card underneath it, they have to pay this card's bet to get rid of it. So it's like just another stalling strategy. Can of Worms. This is the Wrathful Searcher. Can of worms, get it? It's like snakes in a can. But it's like, there's so much puns. Worms like dragons. But like dragons are like snakes. Oh, good. I can't. Alright, you got the Hangry Hippo, the draw 2 card. The Holstergeist. Yeah, if this guy's in the muck, he helps you muck stuff too. You got a Clock again. Whoop, let me focus there. Hit the camera. The Argyle Gargoyle again. Another Knight. Oh, the Wet Blanket, probably the staple negator, because this card just negates whatever. the Roadblock Bloke. This is the familiar spirit of this starter deck, as you can see on the box here. Yep. That is the Roadblock Bloke, basically if Snorlax was a stop sign. But anyway, at the start of each of your round, you can flip a coin and call it. If you call it correctly, your opponents cannot raise that round, which means if you call it, like, you can pretty much run away with the round. If you get it right, your opponent, like, as long as you have a stronger summon, your opponents really can't do much unless their summon has like an effect that can deal with that. But yeah, we got another Siren, which you're gonna need Sirens to get your familiar spirit out quicker. Another Mob, another Duckling, another Hippo. Let's see, another Butterfly, another Baby Zerker, Can of Worms, Changeling, Koala Tea Time. Love that. Procrastinator again. This is the Slothful Searcher. Another Knight, and another Roadblock Bloke. Yeah, because I wanted to give you guys multiple copies of the key card so that there's, some kind of strategy going on. Mountain Man, another Wet Blanket, and I think we're at the start again. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these are interesting to you. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or anything, down in the comments. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.